I started RMD, that's my company, Rusch Machine and Design, right around 1998. Me and a previous co-worker, Stefan Nordstrom, he started Baileigh. I could make machines halfway decent, but I didn't know how to sell. And I'm like, hey, I got a machine, would you like to sell machines? And he's like, hell yeah, this job that I'm working right now sucks, so let's do it. So this is an abbreviated version, but Baileigh was formed. Well, here's my first shop. So this is in my garage. And then here you can see the first, one of the first machines right there. So she's pretty packed in there, 24 by 40 garage. Well, welcome to my shop. On this wall right here, my son gave me this for Christmas one year, and these are a whole bunch of machines that I developed throughout the years. So there's a lot of variations of similar, same machines. So, and this is my fab room. So I got a forge press that I built a couple years back. You know, the anvil, the forge, my Dynasty welder, love that thing. Bandsaw grinders, press brake, heat treating ovens, clamp tree, it's handy if anybody wants to build one. It works awesome. You can wheel it right to where you're working, hang all your clamps on there. So over here is kind of start of my machining area. Here we got nice old drill press, manual mill, my CNC vertical machining center. Got a little Haas TL2 CNC lathe, my Webb manual lathe, great machine. Plasma table. So I have all the core stuff you need to be dangerous in making just about anything. I kind of cut my teeth at the first company I worked for, and we made high-speed wrapping equipment, packaging machinery, and learned how to do electrical work, hydraulic work, pneumatic work, machining, what it takes to build, high-speed machinery. But the same techniques are used in building that type of machinery that's used in building this machinery out here. Here's a couple of my claim to fames. That machine I kind of designed, almost 100%, well, concept-wise 100% myself. Here's our first trade show. So this is in Charlotte, North Carolina, at this Circle Track Racing Expo. So that's where it all began. I came back from that show with all kinds of contacts and interest in the machine, and I had no idea what I was doing and how to sell anything. And that's where Stefan came in. Stefan, with Baileigh, his first office was in my basement of my house. And we moved to the next building, which again was not much to look at. His office, we shared an office in there. And then finally things started rolling, and we were able to get to more suitable locations. Baileigh had their sales department in a different location, and we had our manufacturing department also in our own location. From there, it just went like crazy. We just grew and grew and grew and grew every single year. I can say 90% of the machines that I design, my whole lineup, anything that's yellow, is a machine that I needed at some point in my life. So I needed it, I designed it, made it the best that I thought it could be for myself to use, and we'd offer those for sale. So over here is an assortment of machinery that my company used to build. So I don't have every machine that we built, but I have all the core ones that I need to do the work that I feel like I'm gonna do in the future. So I have multiple notchers, multiple tube benders of different sizes. Over here is a future project that I hope to get done someday. It's a replica Ferrari 250 GTO. I'm probably going to do a modern suspension in it. The chassis is patterned loosely off of the real Ferrari. Instead of an oval tube main frame rails, this is a 2x4 main frame rails. And we did that for multiple reasons. One, because I built a 2x4 bender and we wanted to utilize it in making something in the early days, so we made the chassis using the 4x2. The RMD hot rod. I know some of you guys may have seen it go down. About probably like 8 years ago we built this car, and it's finally done driving car, but we've pulled it all apart and now we're finally going to paint it. So just had the motor rebuilt. So this is a BMW V12 out of like a 750i, and everybody goes, why a V12? I don't know, I'm always trying to be the not standard guy and do different things, but I love V12s, I always have. It's a great car, great motor. It's not cheap to keep it running, that's for sure. So I got the thing rebuilt, and it's all going back together right now. Chassis is all done, powder coated, all welded. Start tightening bolts in the next day or so, Loctiting everything, and it should be a roller in a week. Chrome just came back, so as everybody knows, in hot rod world, it's a happy day when your chrome comes back, and it's beautiful. So when I was just out of high school, I worked for a friend of mine, good friend Mark Garish, and this is right around 1989. He was building Cobra 427s from scratch, from zero. Made the chassis, made the body, made everything. And when you're a kid in high school and you'd never seen anything like this before, but you're a car guy, I went in there and my head exploded on. So I worked part-time for Mark for years, and he had everything. He had the Yoders, the Pullmaxes, all the heavy machinery, and I just couldn't believe that you could shape metal and make a body panel from a flat sheet. It just, my mind couldn't wrap around how that was done. But as years went on, you know, I always had it in the back of my head. I started my company, and things were going well, and I was looking for new product stuff to make, and I'm like, I want to make power hammers and tools to help people make this type of stuff. Well, everybody wanted a Yoder, you know, even today there are a lot of people want a Yoder. I'm gonna make a combo machine and combine a bunch of this equipment together to make the premium, you know, one-stop machine. And that's the MH19. The initial machine was a collaboration between me and Mark. You know, I built the core design of the functions that I wanted it to do, but then I'd build the prototype machines, I'd send them off by Mark. He would beat them up and try to break them. And then I'd go there and then look at what parts were holding up, which parts weren't, what needed improvement. Mark had a lot of great ideas on ways to make the machine better, and we implemented a lot of those ideas into the current MH19 that we have right now. But where it is now, it really is the core machine that you can put in your garage, and you can make, as we've proven with the Walden series, you can make anything that you can make on a Yoder or a Pullmax with the MH19. As things moved along, how our machines progressed, this is the original Model 150. We only built one of those, and then it evolved into this Model 150. Again, there's copycats out there now that copy that machine, but these are the original bad boys right here. This is one of the first electric-powered machines, non-hydraulic. Another machine that was always in the back of my head that I wanted to build for years and years and years. I wanted to build this machine was a chassis bender. Bending rectangular tubing was always that missing link that people needed to be a full hot rod shop. We need to make a machine to bend 4x2 chassis rails. And so development of that machine was long and strenuous. All the machinery that I designed through the years, I always had that weight and balance. Yeah, can I build a better machine? I can, but then it's gonna be so expensive that nobody's gonna buy it. So there's always this weight and balance on where to put machines and price them right and give them just enough features. Try never to take any features away. I always try to add things, but cost is always a problem. You have to fit machines right in this niche level, and it's challenging. One way to cut a lot of cost out of it is to make it only do a 100-degree bend. And 90, I mean, I haven't had anybody request yet that it does more. So for this industry, for the car industry, it doesn't need to do more. And that design actually worked out real well. So that kind of is my legacy, is that machine is, I'm super proud of that machine. It took a lot to get there. The results that people are getting, it's gonna change the hot rod world, because people are now gonna be able to build stuff that they can dream up and just draw in AutoCAD or SolidWorks or whatever. They draw it up with, you know, using that size tube, and we can bend it, you know? So that to me is like so cool. The sucky part is I don't have one here. Next is I call it my wall of metal shaping. So these are the core machines that I like to use. The first machine I have here is the PH28HD, and this is the very first prototype machine before we went into production making them. So you can see the slots and everything. It's kind of haggard together, not because we were making changes and adjusting as we went along with it. So this is serial number 1 of that. Then the MH19. This has all the latest and greatest upgrades that are out there. This one right here, this machine really never made it to market, but it's a great machine, and it's a combo Pullmax echoed type machine. So I wanted a machine that had inertia, that can run mechanical tooling, and it has a big flywheel on it, and the machine has a ton of power, unbelievable amounts of power. So it can do mechanical type shrinking and stretching, as well as it can run high speed and do pull max work. So that's pretty cool. Adjustable stroke, kind of everything that you need in metal shaping. The big hang up with it is the balancing of it. Because I have so much adjustability built into the machine that I could balance the machine at one set point. I could balance it perfectly. But as soon as I made an adjustment to a different stroke or a different this or a different that, then it would throw the balancing off. And I wasn't able to come up with a quick, easy fix to have the balancing follow the adjustments of the machine. And that's kind of where it left off. It has potential, it definitely has potential, but there's more development that needs to happen before before I could sell it to somebody and let it go. It had to be better than what it is. And then my power shrinker stretcher, that's a great machine. So it has reversible magnetic jaws and stuff, so it can shrink and stretch with the same tooling. I really love that machine. That thing is great. It does awesome work. And then my English wheel, you know, like Bobby said in his video, there's English wheel guys and there's hammer guys, and I'm more of a hammer guy too. I have the rubber wheel attachment, and I'll probably be using it mostly for that type of work and just putting form and not shape into a panel. And my air hammer attachment, and then my bead roller. So the open throw down and open throw up bead roller, so you never know what you're going to need. So have one of each of those. So over here is in the center of the shop is a flat sheet metal fab area. Cold saw, band saw, Baileigh shear, hydraulic shear, ring roller, mag brake, slip roll, and finger brake. So Shane and I, Shane Henderson from Baileigh, basically travel the country and go to metal meets and as many events as that we could with our busy schedule to meet with people, talk with people, show equipment that we had already, see what people wanted. And from all those metal meets, you know, we developed more equipment. Then we started doing metal shaping shows at our facilities. You know, real light instructional classes on metal shaping and how our equipment worked and what they could be used for. And we met a lot of great people, got a lot of great input on how to make our machines better. And you know, we kind of really did start a metal shaping movement. You know, if you look on social media, and you'll see, you know, Shane and his movement with metal shaping, it really took its own life. You know, I really think that we brought metal shaping back from, it was dead. It wasn't, I mean, it was there and it's scattered out throughout the country, but we brought it into the highlight, made it cool again, and got people talking about it, and it kind of helped everybody. It helped our companies. You know, we sold machines, we helped people get machines in their hands, and we helped them build their dream vehicles. The next project that I want to do is the grill for the hot rod. We had a grill that was on there. Kyle Yoakum made it. A beautiful job. This one it's round, a little too roundy for the rest of the car, and then when it's all put together and painted and everything, I just wanted a grill that was a little more edgy, had sharper, tighter edges on it. So we're going to follow the same pattern that Kyle used. It's basically the same size. I changed the shape just a little bit. All I did was just tighten up corners, sucked everything up, tighten up corners. So I made a drawing. You know, I drew it all first because I do everything in SolidWorks. That's just the way I work. So I designed it all up, so it's all ready to go. From that, I was able to slice it. So I sliced and diced it, cut all these pieces on the plasma table. They're all interlocking finger like that. So it's all a nice rigid buck. Life throws curveballs at you, and you know, I guess I wanted a change in life. So Baileigh acquired RMD in 2018. And all my guys and stuff are still working at the same company. We're still USA made company. I'm super proud to have created RMD and brought it to the world. I really love to see what the customers made with the equipment, and that just really, that was the feather in the cap for me, is to see the stuff being used. And I just love making quality equipment for guys just like me, and I still do to this day, you know.